Hello and welcome to another free college video. This is going to be a video for the comparing Fairfield County life to Casper, Wyoming life series. I'm going to start opening with, we're going to go over some of the rights and laws and stuff that have to do with Wyoming compared to Connecticut. Connecticut in general is a Democratic state, and Wyoming is a Republican state. So first off, I just want to say if election time comes around and you want to hear that Republicans won, that your leadership around you and your communities and stuff and your representatives are Republican, you want to live in Wyoming. If you want Democrats, go ahead and stick with Connecticut. But I can tell you that it's a much better life in a red state than it is a blue. That's just for you to find out. But anyway, here's just some information. I'm trying to be not biased, but give a non-biased opinion. Just comparing facts. So Wyoming compared to Connecticut. In Connecticut, you need a firearm permit to buy a gun. In Wyoming, you do not. You can literally, if you are able to pass the background check, not a felon, stuff like that, go into a store at the proper age in Wyoming and decide to buy a gun, you can walk out with one most instances. In Connecticut, there's a whole process. They can take away your pistol permit, which means that you can no longer have a firearm in that state if you live there. So if you're trying to get away from all that red tape and you want to be in a community where they're going to be able to keep firearms in the community, you're going to want to be living in Wyoming. Casper, Wyoming is a great place to live if you want to live in a community where everyone has a gun. Other laws in Wyoming, cannabis is not legal. Hemp is legal. So Polyxtracts is a company here that has a laboratory. They have vapes and cartridges, and they have just wax, edibles, everything. And they're actually working on making a THCH. And if you Google that, you'll see that they're making a THCH product, which is 25 times stronger than regular marijuana. And it's considered hemp because it's under 0.3% THC. So that's something that's coming ahead down the road within the next few months or so, probably in Wyoming, that if you're interested in smoking that stuff. And if you want the full stuff, Denver, Colorado is only 4 hours away from Casper, Wyoming. So, and they also, if you look it up, you'll find out that Colorado, Denver decriminalized magic mushrooms. So you can not only smoke marijuana there with 90% THC rather than 0.3%, you can also take magic mushrooms while you're there legally. But I would not recommend bringing that stuff back. But I would recommend that if you were interested in going to use it, you could take a Greyhound if you don't have a car, or we have Casper Airport. And if you should choose to break any laws in Wyoming, I can tell you it's not a wise idea to discuss it with anyone, because although I haven't heard of anything coming back on anyone, there's no statute of limitations on laws in Wyoming. So anyone can charge you at any time for anything you've done. So I've never heard of it. Like I said, I've been here over 5 years, and I've never heard of anybody using that against anybody in a really bad way. If you should get incarcerated, we do have prison tablets. And so you won't be cut off. It's not like one of those like scary things where you think this is one of those places in the middle of nowhere where you could get stuck somewhere and nobody will ever know whatever happened to you kind of thing. Well, we do have missing persons and stuff, and someone I knew did go missing. His name was Paul Pedri. He went to church with me, and we were good friends, and one day he just disappeared. But other than that, I don't think there's any issues. Another drug thing I would have to tell you or advise anyone in comparing Fairfield County, Connecticut to Casper, Wyoming, is that there is a meth problem going on in Wyoming, the same size as the heroin problem in Connecticut. So heroin or meth, it's just a different drug, same size problem. And so that's pretty much what covers it for things like drugs and guns and stuff like that, and laws pertaining to this stuff. So anyway, this is just another video to give some insight to comparing a couple places. And I hope you found this video informative, and I'm going to try to find more information to add. Thanks a lot.